Brand new Lamborghini, a cop car with a pistol on my hip like I'm a
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun.
Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know, need a lot, oh baby. You gotta love me the right way. Side is high, but I'm holding on. I'm gonna be.
when I met you in the summer. Brand new Lamborghini, a cop car with a pistol on my hip like I'm a
100 years of eyebrow trends. In the 1920s, they would shave them off and draw them back on. In the 1930s, they were very thin and rounded. In the 1940s, they were thicker with a high arch. In the 1950s, they were short, full and heavily arched. In the 1960s, they were very thin or thick. In the 1970s, they were long with a downturned shape. In the 1980s, they were bold, thick eyebrows. In the 1990s, they were very thin and overly plucked eyebrows. In 2000s, they were natural shaped but thin. In 2010, they were thicker eyebrows and more natural, and then now they are thick and natural eyebrows. 100 years of nail trends. In the 1910s it was short nails, in the 20s it was the same with a gloss coat, in the 30s it was half moon nails, in the 40s it was long almond shaped with red nail polish, and it's the same in the 50s. In the 60s it was pastel colours, in the 70s it was metallic polish, in the 80s it was square shaped with neon colours, in the 90s it was short natural length with dark coloured polish, in the 2000s it was French manicures, in 2010s it was long with nude colours. 100 years of breakfast trends. In the 1900s, it was rice, cold meat and jelly veal. In the 1910s, it was canned fruit, fried hominy and coffee. In the 1920s, it was Wheaties, Wonder Bread and Rice Krispies. In the 1930s, it was Bisquick, Krispy Kreme and Nescafe. In the 1940s, it was Spam, Cheerios and toast and margarine. In the 1950s, it was Eggo waffles, Dunkin' Donuts and Jif peanut butter. In the 1960s, it was Pop-Tarts, granola and zucchini bread. In the 1970s, it was Egg McMuffin, Fruity Pebbles and Quaker Oats. In the 1980s, it was skimmed milk, ET cereal and Slim Fast. In the 1990s, it was Frappuccinos, Nutri-Grain bars and Nesquik. In the 2000s, it was smoothies, vitamin water and bacon. 100 years of pajama trends. In the 1910s, it was very simple. In the 20s, it was like their everyday wear. In the 30s, it was silk lace dresses and menswear. In the 40s, it was quilted robes and a white pant. In the 50s, it was satin gowns with lace slips. In the 60s, it was the baby doll nightgown and shorts. In the 70s, it was French bold pattern colours, and it was very similar in the 80s. In the 90s, it was grungy and tartan pattern became popular. In the 2000s, it was mix match separates, and 2010s, the onesie became very popular. 100 years of lipstick trends. In the 1920s, they wore a deep red maroon shade. In the 1930s, it was softer reds like coral and orange. In the 1940s, it was a classic red lipstick. In the 1950s, it was bold reds and pinks near the end and in the summer. In the 1960s, it was a frosted lip with pinks and peach shades. In the 1970s, it was nude lip colours and some bright ones. In the 1980s, it was bright lipstick. In the 1990s, it was a brown lipstick shade, which was very common. In the 2000s, it was a glossy lip. In 2010, it was a nude lip and matte liquid lipsticks came in. And the 2020s, more of a natural lips and some gloss.
100 years of high school year.
the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun.
Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know, oh baby, you gotta rub me the right way. Tide is high, but I'm holding on. I'm gonna be.
When I met you in the summer.